Hi everyone, Cindy Squirrel from Squirrel Mills Farms here up in Cochrane. It's February 20th, 2021. The restrictions for COVID have just been lifted and I'm finally going to see my kids, two of my kids. The one I haven't seen since September, the other one I haven't seen since October. This is February. Mommy misses her boys. So they're coming for supper tonight. They're bringing their sleds, gonna go snowmobiling. So I'm gonna make shepherd's pie, which is something that one of them really likes. Not sure about the other one. So I am going to use a recipe. I don't usually need a recipe for things, I just wing it. But I thought I'd get my old cookbook out and you can see how dirty this is. And it was done in 1984. It was the winter of 1984, and it's actually, my mom drew these pictures of the old Presbyterian church in Hornings Mills, and I did the terrible typing. I find now that it, on a computer, not on a computer, like we're going clunk, 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 and fixing your mistakes. And there is a few things that I find in here, the mistakes, but you can see by this page how dirty it is that I have used this page quite often. The only thing with this shepherd's pie that I'm going to change is I'm not going to use 2 medium carrots. I'm going to put peas in it because that's what I did when my babies were babies. So I'm going to try and make this as close as I can to what it was like when they were a kid growing up. And this is my Aunt Gloria's recipe. I hope I do you proud, Aunt Gloria. So the first thing we're going to do is put a pound of ground beef into a saucepan and brown it up. And we're going to peel some potatoes, which have started to sprout a little, but they're still solid, so they're still good. We're going to peel those up and put them in another pot of water and start cooking them. So the ground beef has been cooked and I drained off all the fat, and I used my lovely tool for smashing up all the chunks of the beef. And to that, I am going to add an onion. And it says a pinch of garlic powder. So a pinch is the back of the spoon, the end of the spoon. Garlic powder. Now, I don't have any thyme or savory. It says that you can put a pinch of thyme and savory in there. And I also didn't have a can of beef broth. So I had a gravy mix. So I put gravy, half a cup of water, 3 tablespoons of flour in there, and I guess that's all that I put in there. And shake it all up. And we are going to put this back on the burner, and we're going to cook the onions and the garlic. Okay, so the onions are softening up here, so it's time that I am going to put in my gravy mix, which has 3 tablespoons of flour in it and about 1 cup of water. Okay. Stir that all in. And this calls for Worcestershire sauce, and I don't have any. I'm devastated. I don't know how this is going to taste without it. The recipe calls for 2 carrots. Now, when my kids were younger, they didn't like carrots. So their mummy, of course, changed it to peas because they like peas. So there we go. We added the peas, and we're going to keep this on the stove for about 20 minutes until it's nice and thick and the carrots are cooked. Because the peas are cooked, but because they're frozen peas, it's not going to take very long at all. And in the meantime, I'm going to drain my pot of potatoes, which is cooked, and I'm going to mash them, and I'll see you in a minute. Well, we're back. It's a month later, and I finally get to finish my shepherd's pie. My boys came in early, and I never got to finish it. So my granddaughter is making another shepherd's pie, and we will start where we ended off before. So she's going to dump the hamburger and pea mixture into my pretty little casserole dish. Can you do it, sweetie? It's pretty heavy. Yeah. Yeah, and just level it all out. That's right. I hope you like peas. Do ya?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Because your dad and Uncle Clayton liked peas. That's why I put peas in it. It's supposed to have carrots in it. Okay, so just level that out, and you set that so it partially cools while we do the potatoes. Okay, so Aubrey, she is going to mash up the potatoes. Oh, where's the muscles? Good job. Okay, Aubrey's done a great job mashing the potatoes, and now she's going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk.
It's like dirt and it's absorbing it.
Yeah, and the 1 egg, which I've already slightly beaten. Okay, and she's going to add 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. And yes, there's more than 1/2 cup there, but it's all good. Who doesn't like cheesy mashed potatoes? And she's just going to either use the spoon or the masher and mix that all up. Okay, Aubrey's got that cheesy potato all mixed up. Now, you can't really dump it on. You have to spoon it on and cover the whole top of that beautiful shepherd's pie. Excellent job, Aubrey. And now with the back of the spoon, she's just going to spread it all around until it's all covered. You can't see any more ground beef. Now Aubrey's just sprinkling about 2 tablespoons of panko or breadcrumbs. And she's just going to cover the top, the whole top, the beautiful breadcrumbs. Now the breadcrumbs and the Parmesan cheese is my secret ingredient that I never told Aubrey's mom. So when she makes shepherd's pie, it just doesn't taste as good as my son's mommy makes it for him. But I made a mistake, and since we shop online, I don't go into a grocery store, and I was at a Parmesan cheese, and they gave me shredded. So when I brought this to the table, my boys both looked at it and said, "Mom, did you put coconut on top of the shepherd's pie?" I know I'm old, but I'm not that senile, boys. But it does look like coconut.
Coconut. Shredded up coconut.
And it says 1 to 2 tablespoons. You guys do however much you like. Or if you don't like Parmesan cheese, don't put any Parmesan cheese on. Now we're going to put this, the oven is preheating to 400 degrees. We're just going to pop this in the oven for 15 minutes. Whoa, it's out of the oven. Maybe I should have turned the broiler on, browned it up a little bit. But yeah, I can see why the kids thought that was coconut. Sort of looks like coconut. What do you think, Aubrey? Shall we cut this up and have supper?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a coconut lasagna.
Not lasagna.
Not lasagna. A little
Shepherd's pie.
shepherd's pie.
Okay, I'm not very good at dishing things out. It sort of all fell apart. But there it is.